If you're a medical professional and planning to take the Occupational English Test, or OET, you've come to the right place. In this series of overview videos, we're going to talk about each of the 4 sections of the OET test: listening, reading, writing, and speaking. In this video, we'll talk about listening. In this video, we're going to look at the listening subtest, what you can expect to see, how you will be scored, and we'll give you lots of strategies for success. Let's get started. The listening section is the first section you'll do on test day. This section takes approximately 45 minutes and contains 42 questions. Each correct answer is worth 1 point for a total of 42 points. If you can answer 30 of the 42 questions correctly, you'll receive a mark of 350 or grade B, which is the minimum mark you need to pass for most occupations. The listening section contains 3 parts, A, B, and C. In each part, you'll listen to audio recordings, also called extracts, and answer 1 or more questions for each extract. These extracts are not specific to your profession, but they'll contain general medical information. Make sure you take time to read the instructions for each section. You'll write your answers on the question sheet, and it's a good idea to use a pencil. Here are a few general strategies for getting the most points possible in the OET listening section. First, you'll have time to review the questions before you listen to the audio. The time you get depends on the length of the questions you need to read. Use your reading time to underline keywords in the questions and notice differences in the answer choices. This will help you activate your background knowledge on the topic and help you begin to make predictions about the content of the listening extract you're about to hear. Next, before your test day, ask if your testing center uses speakers or if they will give you a headset. This will help you practice accordingly so you can perform better on exam day. You'll have to pay close attention and not let yourself get distracted or worry too much about a question you can't answer, because you will be writing the answers as you listen. You will only hear the audio once. Be familiar with commonly used abbreviations used in healthcare, such as BP for blood pressure. In listening part A, you'll need to take notes about a patient, and using abbreviations in your notes will help you in at least 2 ways. It will help you reduce spelling mistakes, and it will also reduce the amount of words you need to write in the time you're given. And one last tip is to not worry too much about spelling in the listening section. If the assessors can understand what you wrote, you will still earn the points. Now let's look more closely at each of the 3 parts of the listening section. Listening Part A tests your ability to listen for specific information. It takes around 15 minutes of the total time allowed for the listening section. You'll hear a conversation between a medical professional and a patient. On your paper, you will see a set of case notes with 12 empty blanks. You will need to listen carefully and fill in the blanks in the case notes with information from the conversation as you listen. You'll hear 2 different extracts with 12 questions each for a total of 24 questions and 24 possible points. This is a sample of what your answer sheet will look like for listening part A. Here you'll see general information about the test, instructions for part A, and a description of what you'll hear in the extract. Next, here are the questions you would answer while you listen to the extract. You'll write your answer in the space provided with a pencil. Here are a few tips to help you succeed with listening part A. You'll have 30 seconds to look through the case notes on your paper before the conversation begins. Notice specific words and listen for those words during the conversation to find the answer to the question. Next, be sure and write down exactly what you hear. Don't change it in any way. The answers almost always come from the patient, so be sure to listen carefully to what the patient says. And finally, your test materials for Part A will be collected at the end of the 15 minutes. If you have any extra time at the end and want to check your answers, be sure and do it before your materials are taken away. Now let's take a look at listening part B. The purpose of this section is to check your ability to identify details in a short extract or summarize its purpose. You may also be asked to identify the speaker's opinion. In listening part B, you'll hear 6 short dialogues. It could be 2 healthcare professionals, a healthcare professional and a patient, or it might be 1 person speaking. It could also be 2 people discussing a third person, which might be a little confusing. Then you'll have 1 multiple choice question with 3 possible answers. The questions may ask for specific information in the audio, or they may ask for the main topic of the conversation. You'll have 6 of these questions on test day, and they're worth 1 point each, for a total of 6 points. Here's a sample of the answer sheet for 1 question in Part B. You'll mark the circle with your number 2B pencil next to the answer you choose. That's really all there is to listening Part B, but here are a few tips to help you do well. You'll have time to read the question and the answer choices before you listen to the extract, so you'll know what information to listen for. You'll have to listen carefully because you'll only hear the extract once. And if you just don't know the answer, be sure to guess. This way you'll at least have a 1 in 3 chance of getting the point for that question. The last part of the listening test is listening part C. It's very similar to part B, except that the extracts are longer. Part C tests your ability to follow a presentation and understand what is being said. You'll listen to a longer extract, then answer 6 multiple choice questions that have 3 possible answers each. Each question is worth 1 point. You'll have 2 of these longer extracts to listen to on test day with 6 questions each, so that makes a total of 12 possible points you can achieve in listening part C. Let's look at a sample answer sheet from listening part C. You'll have time to read through the 6 questions first, then you'll listen to the extract. Remember to mark your answers as you listen, filling in the circle next to your answer with a number 2B pencil. Here are a few tips for listening part C. You'll have 90 seconds to read through the questions before the extract is played. Again, note keywords that you can listen for and get a general idea of the topic so you can make predictions about what you're going to hear. Don't wait for the audio to finish before you start writing your answers. Answer the questions while you listen, because you'll only hear the extract once. The questions appear in the same order as the information in the extract, so that makes it a little bit easier. Minor spelling mistakes are allowed as long as the examiner feels that you answered the question correctly. During the test, you'll hear many different accents spoken. It's a good idea to use the time before you take the exam to listen to some healthcare podcasts or YouTube videos. This is an excellent way to improve your listening skills and get familiar with a variety of medical topics and accents at the same time. Use these free resources whenever you have a few extra minutes to practice, and best of all, they're free. Even if you're good at listening to English, you should definitely take time to prepare well for this test. Time management skills are important. You want to use every minute to your complete advantage and not run out of time. If you'd like to take a free listening practice test, click on the link below in the description. You can also check out our other resources at edubenchmark.com to learn more in-depth strategies with more sample questions and instructional videos. Try our other personalized services like the OET speaking mock test. You'll speak with an OET trainer in real time and get tips specific to how you speak. We also offer an OET writing correction service and free sample tests. We want you to succeed on the OET and achieve your dreams. You'll find links to all these services in the description below, as well as links to more in-depth videos that discuss these tasks in greater detail. Be sure and subscribe to our channel and click the bell notification so you won't miss a single video. Give us a like and be sure to leave us a comment. I hope this video has helped you learn more about what you can expect from the OET listening subtest. Be sure and watch part 2 of this video series where we'll discuss the reading subtest. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.